Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's session. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm pleased to be here with you. Today, we'll be exploring GMP quality assurance and documentation. This is a fundamental topic in ensuring high standards in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Over the course of this presentation, we'll cover key principles, best practices, and the importance of meticulous documentation. I look forward to sharing insights that can help us all improve quality and compliance in our work. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the contents of this presentation. First, we'll start with good manufacturing practices, or GMP as it's commonly called. GMP is the foundation for ensuring the quality and safety of our products. It encompasses a set of guidelines that regulate how our manufacturing processes should be carried out. Next, we'll discuss the basic rules of GMP. These are the essential principles that everyone involved in production must follow to maintain consistency, control, and quality. Think of them as the building blocks that keep the entire system aligned. We will also explore the various aspects of GMP. This includes everything from raw material handling and equipment sanitation to personnel hygiene and production documentation. All these elements work together to ensure the final product meets the highest standards. As we move forward, we'll see how GMP evolves over time. Changes in technology, regulations, and industry, best practices mean that GMP is a dynamic framework. It's important to stay updated and adapt our procedures accordingly. We'll then compare different GMP standards across regions or industries to understand similarities and differences. This helps us appreciate the global landscape and ensure compliance wherever we operate. Following that, we'll look into quality assurance, which is a broader concept that encompasses GMP, but also includes other proactive measures. QA aims to prevent defects and ensure that products consistently meet quality requirements. We'll cover the principles of quality assurance, emphasizing the importance of a systematic approach, risk management, and continuous improvement. These principles form the backbone of a robust QA system. Finally, we'll discuss the functions of the QA department. This team oversees compliance, conducts audits, reviews documentation, and ensures that all processes adhere to established standards. Their role is vital in maintaining product integrity. And speaking of documentation, it's the backbone of GMP and QA. Proper records are essential for traceability, accountability, and demonstrating compliance during inspections. Well-maintained documentation supports transparency and continuous quality improvement. Throughout this presentation, you'll see how all these elements are interconnected, forming a comprehensive approach to manufacturing excellence and product safety. Good manufacturing practices, or GMP, are really about a set of principles and procedures that manufacturers of therapeutic goods need to follow. When these guidelines are in place, they help ensure that the products produced meet the required quality standards. You'll often see the term CGMP, where the C stands for current. This highlights that these expectations are always evolving, reflecting the latest science and technology. A key idea behind GMP is that quality cannot just be tested into a product at the end. Instead, it must be built into every batch during every stage of manufacturing. This means quality isn't an afterthought, but a core part of the process from start to finish. GMP also aims to minimize risks in pharmaceutical production, risks that can't be completely eliminated just by testing the final product. By following these practices diligently, manufacturers can ensure that the medicines are safe, effective, and of high quality, which ties directly into our overall goal of safeguarding public health. On this slide, I want to highlight some of the main risks associated with poor manufacturing practices. First, there's the risk of unexpected contamination of products, which can cause serious health issues or even be fatal. Then, we have the problem of incorrect labels on containers, which could lead to patients receiving the wrong medication. This is a critical safety concern. Additionally, if the active ingredient in a medicine is either insufficient or too much, it can make the treatment ineffective or cause adverse effects. Now, why is GMP so important? Well, a medicine produced without proper practices might contain toxic substances that were unintentionally added, risking patient safety. Conversely, if the medicine has little or none of the active ingredient it claims to have, it simply won't work as intended. This underscores why adhering to good manufacturing practices is essential, not just for quality, but for ensuring that medicines are safe and effective for everyone. When starting any job, it's crucial to be sure that you have written instructions clearly outlined beforehand. This helps ensure everyone is on the same page and reduces the chance of mistakes. Always guard against labeling errors, because these can lead to serious issues down the line. It's essential to follow the instructions exactly as given without cutting corners to maintain quality and safety. Make sure you're using the correct materials, nothing more, nothing less. Using the right materials is fundamental to ensuring the integrity of the product. Similarly, always verify that the equipment being used is the correct one and that it is clean. Clean equipment helps prevent contamination and mix-ups, which are vital in maintaining a safe and compliant environment. Working accurately and precisely is a core principle. Hasty or sloppy work can introduce errors that compromise quality. Keeping everything, including personnel and work areas, clean and tidy not only promotes safety, but also supports efficiency and accuracy. It's also important to stay vigilant for mistakes, errors, or bad practices as they happen. Reporting these immediately helps us correct issues early and prevent bigger problems later. Lastly, always keep clear and accurate records of what has been done and the checks you've carried out. Proper documentation is key to traceability and accountability, ensuring we meet GMP standards consistently. Remember, these are the basic rules of GMP, fundamental principles that keep our processes safe, compliant, and of high quality. Now, let's take a closer look at the various aspects that are essential for good manufacturing practices. First, personnel are the backbone of any quality operation. Having well-trained, knowledgeable staff ensures that every step of the process meets the required standards. Next, buildings and facilities must be designed and maintained properly to create a safe and controlled environment for production. This includes proper layout, cleanliness, and preventing contamination. Raw materials are another critical component. Using high-quality raw materials and verifying their quality helps ensure the final product is safe and effective. Equipment and utensils also play a vital role. They must be properly maintained, sanitized, and suitable for their specific use. Storage is equally important. Proper storage conditions prevent spoilage and contamination of materials and finished products. Finally, waste disposal can't be overlooked. Efficient waste management helps prevent cross-contamination and maintains a clean, safe manufacturing environment. All these elements tie together under the overarching goal of GMP, to safeguard product quality and consumer safety. By paying attention to each of these areas, we support a consistent, reliable production process that meets regulatory standards. Let's talk about personnel qualification. It's essential that all persons involved are properly qualified with the right education and training. We need to clearly define their responsibilities in writing so everyone knows what is expected of them. Additionally, the training should always be conducted by someone who is qualified, ensuring that staff are competent and confident in their roles. Moving on to personnel hygiene, this is absolutely critical in maintaining a safe and clean environment. Personnel should practice good sanitation and health habits at all times. Wearing clean clothing that is suitable for manufacturing activities helps prevent contamination. It's also important to avoid direct contact with intermediates or active ingredients to reduce risks. Restrictions on smoking, eating, drinking, or chewing should be strictly followed, along with proper storage of food. These habits can introduce contaminants. Lastly, anyone suffering from infections or illness should refrain from engaging in manufacturing activities until fully recovered. In summary, qualified personnel with proper training and strict hygiene practices are fundamental to ensuring safety, quality, and compliance in our operations. When it comes to design and construction, it's essential that the facility is thoughtfully planned to support cleaning, maintenance, and operations. This means that the layout and materials used should facilitate these activities, tailored to the specific type and stage of manufacturing. We also need to ensure there's adequate space for equipment and materials, so workflows aren't cramped and everything can be accessed easily. Another critical aspect is that the premises must be well drained, preventing water accumulation that could lead to contamination or safety issues. The flow of materials and personnel is equally important, designing pathways that minimize cross-contamination and keep different areas secure. And of course, proper cleaning, washing, and toilet facilities are vital. They should be sufficient and conveniently located to support hygiene and sanitation standards. Lastly, laboratory or operational areas must be kept separate from production zones. Maintaining this separation helps prevent contamination and keeps the integrity of the manufacturing process intact. All of these elements come together to build a facility that's efficient, safe, and compliant with industry standards. Let's talk about utilities first. It's essential that all utilities are properly qualified and monitored to ensure safety and efficiency. Adequate ventilation, air filtration, and exhaust systems must be in place to maintain a healthy environment. If air is being recirculated into production areas, we need to take specific measures to prevent contamination. Additionally, all permanently installed pipework should be clearly identified so that maintenance and inspections are straightforward. Don't forget, drains must be of sufficient size and equipped with an air brake to prevent backflow and contamination. Now, moving on to lighting. Proper lighting is critical across all areas. It's important that the lighting is sufficient to see clearly, reducing any risk of errors or accidents. To minimize microbial contamination, lighting fixtures should be installed inside the walls, avoiding corners and crevices where dirt and microbes can hide. This setup not only helps with cleanliness, but also makes cleaning easier and more effective. Finally, regarding building and facilities, everything should be designed with hygiene and safety in mind. This means creating a clean, well-maintained environment that supports good manufacturing practices. When utilities and lighting are properly managed, they contribute significantly to overall product safety and quality, which is the core theme of our presentation. Now, let's talk about utilities. It's essential that all utilities are properly qualified and continuously monitored to ensure safety and efficiency. Adequate ventilation, air filtration, and exhaust systems must be in place to maintain a clean and safe environment. If air is recirculated into production areas, specific measures need to be taken to prevent contamination and maintain air quality. Additionally, permanently installed pipework should be clearly identified, making it easy to inspect and troubleshoot. Don't forget, drains need to be of sufficient size to handle the volume of liquids, and they must be equipped with an air brake to prevent backflow and contamination. Moving on to lighting, it's crucial that all areas are well lit to ensure safety and operational efficiency. The lighting fixtures should be installed inside the walls to avoid corners and crevices where microbes could potentially hide. This design choice helps to keep the environment clean and minimizes contamination risks. Now, regarding building and facilities, these elements form the backbone of a safe and compliant environment. Properly maintained facilities support all the other aspects we've discussed. By paying close attention to utilities and lighting and ensuring the building's integrity, we create a space that promotes safety, cleanliness, and quality throughout the operation. Now, let's move on to the concept of containment. When we talk about containment in pharmaceutical manufacturing, we're referring to having dedicated production areas specifically designed for highly sensitizing materials. These include substances like steroids, penicillins, and cytotoxic anti-cancer drugs. These materials require careful handling because they can pose serious risks to both the workers and the environment if not properly contained. It's crucial that these areas are separate from regular production zones. This means having special production spaces, specialized equipment, and dedicated storage areas. The goal here is to prevent any cross-contamination and to minimize toxicity risks. Think of it as creating a controlled environment where these hazardous materials can be produced safely and efficiently. Moving on, we also need to consider how we manage sewage and refuse. Proper disposal methods are essential to prevent any contamination or environmental impact. This involves having protocols in place for the safe handling and disposal of waste materials generated during production. Next, sanitation and maintenance are key to keeping the facility in optimal condition. Regular cleaning, sanitation, and maintenance routines help prevent contamination and ensure the safety and integrity of the products. Finally, the building and facilities themselves must be designed to support these processes. This includes ensuring proper layout, ventilation, and safety measures that align with good manufacturing practices. All of these elements together play a vital role in maintaining a high standard of quality, safety, and efficiency in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Now, let's talk about the responsibilities of the person in charge regarding raw materials. It's essential that they keep a detailed inventory and maintain records according to Schedule U. This means documenting each raw material received, including key details like the date of receipt, the receipt number, and the name and address of the manufacturer or supplier. They should also record the batch number, the quantity received, and the pack size. Additionally, it's important to note the manufacturing date and expiry date, if applicable. These records ensure traceability and help maintain quality standards throughout the process. Moving on to Schedule U itself, it requires that all these details are systematically recorded. This way, we can track every raw material from its arrival to its use, which is crucial for quality assurance and regulatory compliance. Now, regarding general controls, having written procedures for the receipt, identification, quarantine, and handling of raw materials is fundamental. These procedures help ensure consistency and prevent mix-ups or contamination. Furthermore, manufacturers must establish a system to evaluate their suppliers, especially for critical materials. This evaluation process helps verify that suppliers meet our quality standards and reduces risks associated with raw material quality issues. In summary, meticulous record-keeping, clear procedures, and supplier evaluation are all key to managing raw materials effectively and ensuring product quality and safety. When receiving raw materials, it's essential to perform a thorough receipt and quarantine process. This means visually inspecting the materials for proper labeling, ensuring there's no damage to the containers, and checking that seals are intact and unbroken. These simple steps help us catch any obvious issues early on. Before we mix incoming materials with our existing stock, we need to make sure they're correctly identified and, if necessary, tested and released. This step is vital to maintain quality and safety standards. If bulk deliveries come in non-dedicated tankers, we must also verify there's no risk of cross-contamination from previous loads. It's about being diligent and cautious to protect the integrity of our raw materials. Additionally, each container should be assigned a unique code, batch number, or receipt number. This helps us trace and track every material throughout its life cycle, ensuring accountability and quality control. All these practices are crucial components of our overall quality assurance process, helping us maintain the highest standards in our production. When it comes to sampling and testing, the key point is that we need to perform at least one test to verify the identity of each batch of material. This step is crucial to ensure we're working with the correct raw materials. Now, the sample we take should always be representative of the entire batch. That means it should accurately reflect the material as a whole, not just a small part of it. To achieve this, sampling must be conducted at specific, defined locations, following established procedures. This helps maintain consistency and reliability in our testing process. When taking a sample, it's important to open and close the container carefully to avoid contamination or damage, and each container should be marked clearly to indicate that a sample has been taken. Finally, organization of raw materials should follow a first-in, first-out approach. This helps us manage inventory efficiently, prevent spoilage, and make sure we're using the oldest stock first to maintain quality. All these practices together ensure our raw materials are properly verified and handled, supporting the overall integrity of our production process. Let's take a look at the key considerations for design and construction in this context. First, it's crucial that the surfaces which come into contact with raw materials, intermediates, or active ingredients do not alter their quality. This means materials and finishes should be chosen carefully to prevent contamination or any impact on product integrity. Next, equipment should only be operated within its qualified operating range. This ensures safety, efficiency, and product quality by preventing overuse or misuse of machinery. When it comes to major equipment and permanently installed processing lines, they must be properly identified. Clear labeling and documentation help maintain control and facilitate maintenance or inspections. It's also important to consider substances used around the equipment, like lubricants, heating fluids, or coolants. These should never come into contact with intermediates or active ingredients, as contamination could compromise the entire batch. Finally, maintaining an up-to-date set of drawings for equipment and critical installations is essential. This documentation supports proper maintenance, troubleshooting, and verification during audits. Overall, these points highlight how careful design and construction are integral to maintaining product quality and ensuring compliance throughout the manufacturing process. Now, let's move on to equipment maintenance and cleaning. It's essential that we establish clear schedules and procedures for maintaining our equipment. This helps ensure everything stays in top shape and functions correctly. When it comes to equipment that isn't dedicated to a single material, we need to clean it thoroughly between different productions. This is crucial to prevent cross-contamination and ensure the purity of our products. For continuous production, cleaning should be done at appropriate intervals, based on the type of equipment and materials involved. Regular maintenance and cleaning are key to keeping our operations efficient and compliant. Next, let's talk about calibration. All control, weighing, measuring, monitoring, and test equipment must be calibrated according to written procedures. Having these procedures documented helps us stay consistent and ensures accuracy. It's also important to keep records of all calibrations performed. This way, we have a traceable history of equipment performance. Remember, if any equipment does not meet calibration standards, it must not be used until it is properly recalibrated and verified. This step is vital to maintaining the integrity of our data and the safety of our products. In summary, proper maintenance, cleaning, and calibration are fundamental practices that support our overall quality and safety standards. To ensure the stability of a pharmaceutical preparation for its entire shelf life, it's essential that the label clearly states the desired storage conditions. This information guides users on how to store the product properly, helping to maintain its efficacy and safety. Proper storage conditions can include temperature, humidity, light exposure, and other environmental factors. By providing these details, we help prevent degradation or spoilage. Remember, the stability of the medication directly depends on following these recommended conditions. So, including accurate storage instructions on the label is a crucial step in safeguarding the medication's quality throughout its intended shelf life. Now, let's dive into the warehousing procedure. It's crucial that records of store items are comprehensive and accurate. This means including key details such as the name of the material and the manufacturer, so we can easily identify the source and ensure traceability. We also need to note the quantity and strength of the material, which helps us manage inventory levels and verify potency. The batch number and control number are essential for tracking specific production lots, especially in case of recalls or quality issues. Don't forget the manufacturing and expiry dates. These are vital for maintaining safety and efficacy of the materials. Additionally, we should document the method of dispense, which ensures proper handling and usage. Lastly, any special precautions that are necessary must be clearly recorded to prevent mishandling or misuse. When it comes to storage, following these detailed records ensures that everything is organized, safe, and ready for proper use. This systematic approach supports overall quality control and safety, which is the backbone of effective warehousing in our operations. Let's talk about some key points regarding pharmaceuticals that should never be used and must always be considered as pharmaceutical waste. First, any expired pharmaceuticals are a no-go. Using them can be ineffective or even harmful, so they should be properly disposed of. Next, all unsealed syrups or eye drops, whether they are expired or not, should never be used. Once they're opened, there's a risk of contamination, which can pose health risks. Then we have pharmaceuticals that were stored in cold chain conditions but got damaged. This includes things like insulin, polypeptide hormones, gamma globulins, and vaccines. If these are unsealed or show signs of damage due to temperature breaches, they are no longer safe to use. Lastly, any unsealed tubes of creams, ointments, or similar products, again, whether expired or not, should be considered waste. They're exposed to environmental contaminants and can't be trusted for safe application. Overall, proper waste disposal of these pharmaceuticals is crucial to ensure safety and prevent medication errors or health hazards. Remember, always treat these items as waste and dispose of them accordingly. Now, let's talk about disposal methods for waste. First, one option is returning the waste to the donor or manufacturer, which can sometimes be the most straightforward way to handle certain materials. Another common method is landfilling, and here we focus on highly engineered sanitary landfills designed specifically to prevent environmental contamination. Within landfills, waste can be stabilized through processes like encapsulation, which immobilizes hazardous components, or energization, which can sometimes neutralize or deactivate harmful substances. Moving on, waste can also be disposed of via sewer systems, though this approach depends heavily on the type of waste and local regulations. Burning waste in open containers is another method, but it must be carefully controlled to avoid air pollution. Chemical decomposition is also used, especially for specific hazardous wastes, breaking them down into less harmful substances. Overall, selecting the right disposal method depends on the waste type, safety considerations, and environmental impact, tying directly into our broader goal of responsible waste management. GMPs, or good manufacturing practices, are constantly evolving, and these changes can happen in both formal and informal ways. Currently, we're seeing some significant updates in the GMP landscape. For example, on the formal side, the U.S. medical device GMPs have undergone a complete rewrite. This wasn't just a tweak or an update. It was a comprehensive overhaul designed to make these regulations more aligned with international standards. Specifically, they've been made more compatible with the ISO 9001 quality management system. In fact, these device GMPs have been renamed. Instead of calling them GMPs, the FDA now refers to them as the Quality System Regulation, or QSR. This change reflects a broader shift towards a more integrated and standardized approach to quality management in medical device manufacturing. So, how do GMPs change? Well, the key point here is that these changes are not static, they're ongoing. They can be formal, like legislative updates or regulatory revisions, or informal, such as evolving industry best practices and internal company policies. Staying current with these changes is crucial for compliance and maintaining product quality. Understanding these shifts helps us see the bigger picture, that GMPs are not just rules to follow, but part of a continuous effort to improve safety, quality, and efficiency across the industry. Let's take a closer look at this example of informal change. As you can see, expectations that inspectors have evolved over time. Here in the U.S., these changes are typically communicated through various channels like seminars and papers presented by FDA personnel. They also share updates via agency guides and guidelines. Another effective way for industry personnel to stay informed about these evolving expectations is by reviewing the FDA 483s, which are the inspectional observations, as well as warning letters that the FDA issues to firms. These documents highlight areas where compliance is expected to improve and can serve as a valuable resource to keep up with changing standards. So, understanding how GMPs change is crucial, and staying proactive in monitoring these updates helps ensure ongoing compliance. It's all about being aware of the evolving landscape and adjusting accordingly to meet regulatory expectations. At a high level, GMPs of various nations are very similar. Most of them require key elements such as properly designed, maintained, and cleaned equipment and facilities. This ensures that the manufacturing environment supports product quality and safety. Another common requirement is that standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are written and approved. SOPs help create consistency and accountability across the manufacturing process. Additionally, GMPs typically mandate an independent quality unit, which can be called quality control or quality assurance. This team plays a crucial role in overseeing compliance and ensuring the product meets all quality standards. Well-trained personnel and management are also essential. Having knowledgeable staff who understand GMP principles helps prevent errors and maintains high standards throughout production. Now, how do GMPs of different countries compare? While there are some variations, the core principles are quite similar. This common foundation makes it easier for global companies to comply with multiple regulations and ensures a consistent approach to quality and safety worldwide. When we talk about quality, it can be defined in a few key ways. First, it's about fitness for use, meaning the product or service should be suitable for what it's intended for. Second, it's conformance to specifications or standards, ensuring everything meets certain criteria. Third, quality is about fulfilling customer expectations, which ultimately leads to satisfaction. And finally, it's about being free from deficiencies. That means delivering a product or service without errors or flaws. Philip Crosby, a well-known quality expert, defines quality as simply meeting customer requirements. He emphasizes that doing things right the first time and every time is crucial. This approach minimizes mistakes and ensures consistent quality. This brings us to the concept of quality assurance. It's all about establishing processes and practices that guarantee these standards are met consistently. In essence, quality assurance is the framework that helps us deliver reliable, high-quality products and services, aligning perfectly with our overall goal of continuous improvement and customer satisfaction. When we talk about quality assurance, we're focusing on guaranteeing that a consumer can purchase a product with confidence and enjoy its satisfactory use over a long period. It's about building trust, ensuring that every step in the process supports the product's quality and safety. This highlights the need for a central quality assurance system. Why is that so important? Well, because QA, or quality assurance, is essentially the heart and soul of quality control. It encompasses everything we do to prevent defects and ensure quality from the very beginning. Now, to understand QA better, it's helpful to think of it as a combination of several elements. QA equals QC plus GMP. QC, or quality control, involves the actual testing and inspection of products. GMP, or good manufacturing practices, are the guidelines that ensure products are consistently produced and controlled according to quality standards. When you put these together, QA becomes a comprehensive approach that covers the entire process. In essence, QA is about providing the evidence needed to establish confidence. It's about demonstrating that the quality function is being effectively followed by all concerned. This means not just checking results, but also making sure that the entire process, from raw material sourcing to manufacturing and packaging, is reliable and compliant. So, in the bigger picture, quality assurance isn't just a department or a set of procedures. It's the foundation of trust in our products, ensuring that consumers receive safe, effective, and high-quality products every time. To build consumer trust, there are some fundamental principles we need to follow. First, adopting a 100% consumer-first approach is essential. We need to truly understand what our customers require and expect from us. It's not just about knowing their needs, but about making them feel heard and valued. Next, we must establish a clear customer-first philosophy that permeates every level of the organization. This means that from the company president right down to every employee, everyone should be committed to quality. It's a shared responsibility, and that commitment starts at the top. Another key point is to constantly rotate the quality cycle, often referred to as the Deming cycle. This cycle, plan, do, check, act, should never stop. Continuous improvement is vital because quality is not a one-time achievement. It's an ongoing process. Both producers and marketers are responsible for quality assurance, ensuring that quality isn't just a department's job but a company-wide mindset. Finally, always remember the principle that the next process is your customer. Every step in our process impacts the next, and ultimately, the end customer. If we keep this in mind, we ensure that quality flows seamlessly from start to finish, reinforcing trust and satisfaction. These principles are the backbone of effective quality assurance and crucial for maintaining consumer trust in our brand. Let's talk about some of the key functions of quality assurance. First, the issue of batch production records is crucial. These records document each step of the manufacturing process, ensuring traceability and consistency. Reviewing these records thoroughly helps us verify that every batch meets our quality standards. Next, we have the review of quality control reports. These reports give us insights into the testing and inspection results, highlighting any deviations or issues that need attention. Based on this review, we can make informed decisions about product release. Speaking of which, the issue of product release certificates is a vital step. These certificates officially confirm that the product has passed all quality checks and is safe for distribution. Shop floor inspection is another important activity. Regular inspections on the manufacturing floor help us identify and address potential issues early, maintaining high standards throughout production. Upkeep of reference samples is also essential. These samples serve as benchmarks for future comparisons, ensuring ongoing consistency in our products. Validations are another cornerstone. They confirm that our processes and equipment consistently produce products that meet quality specifications. Preparation and review of SOPs, or standard operating procedures, ensure that everyone follows the same reliable methods. Regularly updating and reviewing these SOPs keeps our processes aligned with current standards. Self-inspections are an internal check to verify compliance with our quality policies and procedures. They foster continuous improvement and accountability. Finally, complaint handling and investigations are critical for addressing customer concerns promptly. Investigating complaints helps us identify root causes and prevent future issues, ultimately protecting our brand and ensuring customer satisfaction. All these functions together form the backbone of quality assurance, supporting our commitment to delivering safe, effective, and consistent products. Now, let's talk about the crucial preparations we need to make for audits. First, vendor audits are essential to ensure our suppliers meet our quality standards and compliance requirements. Next, we conduct audits of our contract manufacturing units to verify that they follow our processes and quality protocols. Trend charts are also vital. They help us visualize quality performance over time and identify areas for improvement. Salvaging is another key aspect. It's about recovering and reworking products when possible to reduce waste and maintain quality. Training and development are ongoing efforts to keep our team knowledgeable about quality standards and best practices. Proper documentation is fundamental. Accurate records support traceability and accountability in all processes. Checking samples regularly allows us to verify product consistency and quality before they reach the market. Post-production stability studies are conducted to ensure our products remain stable and effective throughout their shelf life. In cases where issues arise, a product recall process is in place to protect consumers and maintain trust. All these functions of quality assurance work together to uphold our commitment to delivering safe, reliable, and high-quality products, which is at the core of our overall quality management system. Now let's look at the overall validation process, which is a series of interconnected activities. It starts with a plan or protocol where we define what needs to be validated. Then, we move on to installation qualification, ensuring that equipment is installed correctly. Next is operation qualification, which confirms that the equipment operates as intended under specified conditions. After that, performance qualification verifies that the process consistently produces the desired results. Once these steps are completed, we generate a report and obtain certification to document everything. Finally, revalidation is performed periodically to ensure ongoing compliance and performance. Validation, at its core, is about proving that the process works reliably. It involves determining the key process variables, those critical factors that influence quality, and establishing acceptable limits for each. Using these limits, we set up in-process controls that include alerts and actions to maintain control. This way, we can promptly address any deviations. The most important concept here is that validation is a chain of activities that confirms the process is effective and reliable over time. It's about creating a proven, controlled process that consistently delivers quality products, aligning perfectly with our overall goal of quality assurance and regulatory compliance. Now let's delve into validation, which is a crucial part of ensuring product quality and compliance. Validation encompasses all subjects involved in the manufacturing process, including instruments, personnel, raw and packing materials, and even equipment design, installation, and operation. It also covers critical support systems like water, steam, compressed air, inert gases, and drainage, as well as the manufacturing process itself, along with analytical and quality procedures. Essentially, it's about confirming that every component and step in the process consistently produces a quality product. Moving on, there are different types of validation to consider. First, prospective validation, which is performed before a process is put into routine production. It's about planning and demonstrating that the process is capable of producing quality results from the outset. Then, we have concurrent validation, which occurs during actual production, providing real-time assurance that the process remains in control. Lastly, retrospective validation looks back at historical data to verify that a process has been consistently producing acceptable products over time. We also have specific validations for equipment, ensuring that each piece functions as intended within the process. And don't forget cleaning validation, which confirms that cleaning procedures effectively remove contaminants, preventing cross-contamination, and ensuring the integrity of our products. Overall, these different types of validation form a comprehensive framework that supports our commitment to quality and compliance throughout the manufacturing lifecycle. They help us identify, control, and mitigate risks, ensuring that our products meet the highest standards. When we talk about a document, we're referring to a paper that provides information, especially of an official or legal nature. It's essentially a written report or record that captures important details. On the other hand, documentation is a bit broader. It involves preparing written materials that describe processes, including specifications and instructions. It's about clearly outlining how things are done, so others can follow or understand the procedures involved. Both documentation and records play a crucial role in achieving credibility and compliance. They are essential when seeking accreditation or certification from organizations like ISO, or when obtaining approvals from federal bodies. In essence, proper documentation ensures that processes are transparent, consistent, and verifiable, which is vital for maintaining standards and gaining trust. This ties back to our overall theme of establishing robust quality management and operational integrity within the organization. If it is not documented, it did not happen. That's a phrase we often hear in the regulatory world. Essentially, if you haven't recorded something, it's as if it never occurred. Conversely, if it's not documented, it can quickly become just a rumor or an unverified story. In FDA speak, this means one thing loud and clear: document, document, document. Documentation isn't just a formality, It's the backbone of compliance and accountability. Proper documentation ensures that every step, decision, and action is recorded accurately and thoroughly. Remember, good documentation provides the evidence needed to demonstrate that your processes meet regulatory requirements. It's what stands behind your claims of compliance and quality. So, whether it's procedures, observations, or communications, make sure everything is clearly documented. This slide really ties into the overall theme of maintaining integrity and transparency in our work. Proper documentation isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's about building trust with regulators, stakeholders, and your team. So always keep that in mind. If it's not documented, it's as if it didn't happen. For further support, please feel free to contact us. We're here to help you with any questions or additional information you might need. Thank you so much for your attention and engagement throughout this presentation. Remember, we're committed to supporting your success, so don't hesitate to reach out. Again, thank you and have a great day.